This is the Business Breakfast on the UAE's #1 talk radio station.
Speaking of lithium, actually, and those Australian miners, EVs. 2 interviews on EVs this morning. We are going to look a little bit later about what we've seen in second-hand EV sales in the first half of this year. But yesterday, we got a message from a listener saying that the insurance on their electric vehicle had risen alarmingly, pun fully intended, post-floods. Actually, they were messaging the agenda, not us, but we thought it was a good story, so we stole it. Is it the floods? Has it pushed up EV premiums in particular? We are asking Alfred. Very pleased to be joined by Avinash Babur, who is the CEO and founder of InsuranceMarket.ae. Avinash, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, is our mystery listener right? Are EV premiums rising after the floods?
They are indeed, but probably not to that extent. This might be a bit of an idiosyncratic case. Could be a case of claims or something like that. But in general, yes, we're seeing, pre-floods versus post-floods, about a 10% increase overall, and EVs in particular, 20%.
Why the difference?
Right. So just to set the scene, I think premiums have been increasing anyway. And when it comes to EVs, it's also a confluence of various factors. You have a lot of new people coming to Dubai. You have more younger and novice drivers getting new driver's licenses. And you have also this new trend of more vehicles being imported. So these are non-GCC spec vehicles. And when you say EVs, a lot of the new surge in demand is coming from Chinese vehicles, which have their own aspects to them as opposed to German or Japanese. So these factors, coupled with challenges around EVs in particular, which I can delve into, have caused a kind of surge in premiums.
Okay, so there is a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Let's jump into why EVs have risen at double the rate, premium-wise, in terms of that increase. Why EVs in particular?
Yeah, so whilst we can't isolate just EVs because there are all these other factors at play, when it comes to EVs, I think the repair infrastructure has been a particular challenge for insurers. So you've got a bit of a crunch there. Parts have to be bought from dealers, even outside agencies. And generally, at the moment, there's not many people stocking parts. So they have to be ordered each time. This increases lead times. This increases costs. And because it's a new trend, there's a skills shortage with regards to being able to repair these vehicles. And what we've also seen is post vehicles being delivered back to customers, oftentimes these EVs come back. So there's a liability aspect for insurers as well there, that they're not being able to always guarantee repairs and vehicles are coming back. It's that, and then there's the floods. So EVs, when it comes to the floods, didn't fare too well. Even with engines switched off, being parked, they were getting flooded and even totaled in some cases, which is obviously a big risk for insurers. So all these factors play a part together.
Did we see, do you think, more EVs being written off completely after the floods than
Correct.
Combustion?
Substantially more.
Substantially more?
Yeah.
Are we done with premium rises? I mean, obviously everyone insures their cars at different times. It's staggered. But given that underwriting has gone up after the floods, how long are we going to see premiums rise for?
It seems like reinsurers are really keen to continue showing some premium rises. There's also the question of how often will we have freak events like this. But then on the flip side, Dubai's responded really well. The infrastructure is better. I was hearing from one of the insurers that, you've got to have an event 5x as worse in terms of the quantity of rain in order to be able to have that level of flooding again, just because of the drainage systems and the response infrastructure now that has been put in place. So, I think we've seen the bulk of the increase, but January is an important time because a lot of reinsurance contracts are renewed. So we'll see some.
Are we seeing insurers decline to insure EVs completely or just not wanting to?
Yes, in some cases, they're either declining or charging higher rates, but there's always a solution out there.
While we've got you in the studio, we've been talking about you in the last couple of weeks, but we've been talking about you because of the, let's call it a giant billboard that you have purchased on the Sheikh Zayed Road in terms of naming rights for a metro station. Why have you done that?
Well, more than it being a purchase, I think we've been honored with, being awarded the naming rights by the Dubai Roads and Transport Authority. It's a public-private partnership. It's much more than advertising, and it's been a great honor that's been bestowed upon us, and we're looking forward to this partnership.
It is a commercial deal, though. How much have you paid for the naming rights?
I can't divulge the amount, but, it's a win-win partnership for sure.
Can you give us an idea of the ballpark? I mean, are we talking thousands of dirhams, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, beyond?
No, it's in the millions. It's a 10-year deal. So, yeah, it's a long-term contract and a long-term partnership.
Why have you done it?
Well, our brand is something that we've been very proud of, and we've always been brand first in everything we do. And, as we've delivered on our promises over the years, we've continued to grow and become a household name in Dubai. This was, a great honor when, it came to us. So, why wouldn't we do it was the question at the time.
Behaviour change, though. Once people get used to calling a stadium something or a metro station something, it'd be quite hard to change behaviours. How are you going to foster people giving your new station the right name?
Well, I think it's just going time will take care of it, and Dubai is a transient place. You always have new people coming to Dubai, so inevitably there will be some people that call it their old name. But I think in a couple of years or a couple of months even, it'll be normally known as Insurance Market.
And what are your plans? I understand you do have quite big plans for renovating the place.
Yeah, so if you go to the Insurance Market metro station, Alfred has completely taken over, of course, and soon you'll see a big statue of Alfred there.
How
so,
big?
Make sure you tag us and send a selfie.
How big?
It's like a 2-meter high statue. It's just the right size to get a selfie.
What the world needs now, a 2-metre high Alfred. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Avinash. It's a delight to speak to you, as always. Avinash Babur is the CEO and founder of InsuranceMarket.ae.